All right, so I just got done with a client meeting and on my way back home. So why not do the next day? Why don't do the day 23? I believe it's day 23 of driving. So I'm stuck in stop and go traffic. But okay, so just got done with a client meeting and a couple takeaways from that meeting, which is some cool things. I guess I would say some learning lessons for the people out there. So one, it went good. I was there doing a video and photo shoot, which was great. It was a fun time. Something that was in the works for a long time. So it was good to finally get that done and out of the way. And now, on my way home. So I wanted to film this day. So some cool takeaways. One is very unexpected. So we were in a meeting, kind of mostly just hanging out and chilling in his office, just talking about life. He works in like an office space, and kind of just a cool thing happened. A guy who also works in the office space kind of stopped by. Our door was open, and he was looking for the owner of the office space. And then we just started talking to him, and eventually we just started talking about business and things of that nature. And then out of the blue, just created a connection point with him, which is really cool because it could mean something down the road. Maybe more opportunities. So that was kind of a pleasant surprise and really enjoyed that. So I was honestly just kind of negative about this, how the day was going. It was a long day already and things weren't really going according to plan, but throughout the day. So I don't know, I wasn't in the best mood, but we made a new friend, made a new connection, and which potentially opens up opportunities down the road. So that was kind of a random thing off to the blue. So now, then in the meantime, as I was in there, it's cool to also just work on just learning AI and building my business with the help of AI. And it's definitely a process. No matter what AI is the hottest thing right now, whether it's Claude or Gemini or, there's a lot of, Claude is definitely the hottest thing right now. Everyone loves Claude. But whether you have Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, or whatever, just learning how to operate them is the most important thing. And that takes a process. It's been an interesting thing just to get operating, from just asking questions to expanding upon just asking questions to solving problems and having it help what I need to get done and actually take things off my plate. And so that's been a really cool, because it's definitely taught me how it works, what questions to ask, how to seek more clarification, how it uses gems, which is kind of an agent form, where it kind of specializes in a certain task or framework. So that's been really cool. So I've been trying to, I guess at the end of the day, I've been trying to create a system within Gemini where I'm having it solve certain problems, but I want it to be kind of have a level of hierarchy within Gemini, where I have a chief of staff, for example, to different agents underneath that, where I have the chief of staff that helps with strategy and also helps with problems that come up, and maybe asks me questions, gives me like maybe information and ideas that I didn't know to help progress what I ultimately want to achieve, which is, to start a business, to start, creating YouTube more consistently, grow that, and all of those things. So that's been really cool. And then, because I did that initially where I had a chief of staff like Gem or like Agent, and it was helpful, but it felt like it was overwhelmed. Like it didn't know how to handle all of the tasks that I was asking of it. And so then eventually I thought maybe I don't need like a chief of staff like Agent or Gem. Maybe I need something that's very different. And so then I went that direction, and then as I've been like thinking about it and processing it, I think what I would like to have a chief of staff, but I think the chief of staff was doing too much, and so much so that it wasn't actually beneficial and it wasn't doing what I wanted to do. And that's not against AI or against Gemini, but I think it was against me of like, okay, I just need to learn more of how it operates. So I think the biggest thing is just more of the tools, like deep research were huge. So that was nice. And then how to delegate to other gems, and then use the chief of staff as like one who helps with strategy more, and then maybe helps break down problems. And then for like implementation or helping me with more precise things, I'm going to use like a gem who like specializes in that precise thing, like helping me with my website. And so I know this is probably not like the greatest view or greatest even sound, but I don't know, this is kind of some of the stuff that I'm working through right now. So that's kind of like my next step. So what I did was I asked Gemini to break down how do I give the information needed for the chief of staff to have everything that it needs to lessen the confusion, lessen the language, lessen certain barriers. So I think this is going to be just a process of, like Gemini interviewing, which is such a weird, interesting concept that I know, having AI interview you for a certain task, certain job. But as I've been doing research in different ways to learn AI, like that, it seems like that's the best way, is to have AI pull information from you so that it can help you with what you want to do, and it just lessens confusion. And I think as you just do that more, I figured that it just helps you change how you interact with it. It changes how you like what your needs are ultimately, because I think that's what is a lot of my problems initially using Gemini Pro, is that it was trying to help me with information that I gave it, but it was limited. And it was taking me in a direction which was helpful, but not what my needs were. So, but I think that's just what it is. Like, you're in this, like, interesting relationship with this artificial persona, or person, per se. And then you're just trying to figure out how to work with it and convey and communicate and like what it needs to know from you so it can be helpful. Because I know that sometimes, this might be weird, where you can be like upset with, whatever AI, or think that it's not doing a good enough job. And there's maybe some truth to that. But I think too is that maybe trying to get out of that mindset of like, hey, what is the AI doing wrong? But maybe there's something that I don't know. And maybe there's a way where I need to give it more information or communicate better. So instead of being like, hey, this AI sucks, because you could definitely get into that pretty fast. Like, you can say like, dude, this is trash. But maybe it's actually not trash. You're just not using it correctly. So maybe you're the problem. So that's been a very interesting experiment. It's just, how can I get the most out of AI? Because I really think that it can add value, and it's honestly already showing value. But because you work a full-time job, you have a lot going on in life, and your goal is to take things off your plate or help you arrive to certain places sooner. And that's the goal with Gemini. But it comes down to ultimately like, hey, like, are you using this technology the best way possible? Is honestly the biggest thing. So, getting off that rant. Yeah, it's been a good day though. Just connecting with a client, potentially meeting with another client, future clients, to help him grow his business, learning Gemini and how to apply it. So I know this is a little bit of a scatterbrain video, but ultimately, this is just a vlog and me driving down a road and making sure I don't crash. So with that, I hope this was beneficial. Hope you learned something, whether it's learning about AI or just the importance of relationships within business. I think there's been some cool things for me as I work on my business. There's sometimes where you can feel like you're isolated and everything relies on you and all about you, which is true. You're creating your own business, so whether something happens or doesn't happen is all on you. But it's cool to have people come alongside you and be part of that journey. So with that, that's all I got. That's all I got for today. It's the end of day 23, I believe. It's been a long day, so I forgot. But all right, see you on the other side. Peace.